Crash, 3 a.m. The sound of my front door exploding inwards. Fake cops screaming. Police, search warrant. Most people would freeze, maybe panic or hide. But me? I just smiled. Because while everyone else saw a scared old man caught off guard, I knew exactly what was coming. I'd been laying this trap for 20 years, just waiting for someone stupid enough to step in it. All the hell my HOA president had put me through, all the bogus fines, the threats, the mail mix-ups, none of it mattered anymore. Tonight, she'd finally crossed the line. And she was about to find out that the man she thought she was destroying was the one who'd spent a lifetime outmaneuvering people just like her. You know what I mean? So, let me back up a second. After 3 decades in the military and law enforcement, I figured I'd earned a little peace. I found this place up north. Lakeside Haven, a quiet retirement community where the only drama should have been about whose dog was barking too much or who forgot to mow their lawn. I was unloading boxes, thinking I'd finally made it, when this cheery neighbor, Dorothy Miller, walks up with muffins and a smile, so warm you'd think she was running for office. "Welcome, honey. You're going to love it here. Peaceful, no trouble." For 3 whole days, I actually believed her. Then came the HOA welcome meeting. I've been through military briefings in war zones less intimidating than this. 30 residents, all older folks looking for peace, and up front stands Victoria Lancaster, the new president. The second she introduced herself, every hair on the back of my neck stood up. Victoria Matthews, now Lancaster. 15 years ago, I brought down the Blackwater contractor fraud. And she was right there in the mess. HR manager, covered up evidence, 12 soldiers dead. She didn't recognize me at first, or so I thought, but then our eyes met. Her coffee cup trembled. Yeah, she remembered. By the next morning, my welcome package was a violation notice. American flag 4 inches too high. $500 fine. Comply, or else. I actually laughed. Lady, you just declared war on the wrong retiree. What most people don't get about guys like me is that we never stop being careful. I'd researched every rule, every loophole. My flag was regulation. This wasn't an accident. It was a message. She knew who I was, and she was coming for me. My old Army buddy, Sam, ran a background check. Turns out, Victoria moved here 6 months before I even announced my retirement. She ran for HOA president the second she arrived. She'd hired a private investigator to monitor military retirements. She'd been tracking me, 15 years in the making. I'll give her this. The woman was committed. But she'd underestimated just how patient I could be. Violations came daily. Parking, noise. Grass too long. Each one more ridiculous than the last. See, psychological warfare only works if your target doesn't spot it. And I'd spent my life outsmarting people with far deadlier intentions. So, I played along. Paid her bogus fines. Made her changes. But every single interaction went on camera. Every drive-by. Every time she circled my property. Every snide comment. Documented. She thought she was hunting me, but I was gathering evidence. Watching her. Waiting for her to slip. Then she did. A certified letter. Multiple violations. 30 days to vacate or face legal action. I sipped my coffee, stared at the lake, and smiled. She thought she'd broken me. Truth is, she was giving me all I needed to end her reign for good. But Victoria was smart. She didn't just attack me. She poisoned the whole neighborhood against me. Suddenly, conversation stopped when I walked by. Dorothy wouldn't meet my eyes at the mailbox. Victoria was playing chess. Her first move, isolate me. I caught her at a barbecue, spinning lies about PTSD, showing neighbors photos of my workouts, making me look unstable, a threat to their kids. For a minute, I wanted to call her out right there, but then Dorothy came over. "Colonel, I owe you an apology." I saw her screaming at the mailman. "She's manipulating all of us. What can I do to help?" That's when I knew the tide was turning. Then, one night, I overheard Victoria in her backyard. My security system picked up everything. Tommy would be 25 today. If Harrison hadn't pushed that case, I'd have kept my job. I wouldn't have been drinking. I'd have picked him up from school instead of him taking the bus. Her son, killed by a drunk driver. She blamed me for the chain of events. For a while, I thought about packing up, just leaving her to her little kingdom. But then I remembered those 12 dead soldiers. I couldn't walk away, not for me, for them. Sam agreed. Guilt and justice aren't the same thing. Sometimes you have to keep fighting, even after you've earned the right to stop. Victoria escalated, My internet cut. Mail went missing. HOA trucks blocked my driveway. And then she crossed a line. Sam called. She's hired muscle. Rick Nolan, ex-cop, bad reputation. Asking questions about your routine. Eric, this is criminal. So I got ready. Upgraded security, cameras everywhere, defensive measures that would make my old SWAT team proud. 3 weeks prepping. Waiting. And then, caught her on tape. Victoria telling Rick, wear police uniforms, claim you have a warrant. Scare him. If he fights back, accidents happen. That was my green light. She'd handed me everything I needed. The night of the raid, every angle covered, every move planned. Rick crept up in a fake uniform, carrying a crowbar and a cheap walkie. He smashed my door at exactly 3 a.m., just like Victoria ordered. I watched it all from my Overwatch position, listening to him mutter his lines, nervous as a cat. He was committed now, multiple felonies on camera. My pre-recorded message kicked in. Good morning, Officer Nolan, badge 4471, terminated for excessive force. Your uniform's from Party City. Your badge is plastic. You've just committed federal crimes on camera. Would you like to surrender now? The guy turned white, started spinning, panicking. Then, he stepped onto the trigger. Down came the net, military grade. He struggled, it tightened. Lights, sirens, strobe effects. He broke, sobbing. She said you'd just be scared, not fight back. I walked in, full tactical gear, phone recording, cool as a cucumber. Everything's on tape, Rick. Want to tell me who hired you? He spilled everything. Victoria, $10,000, fake warrant. Plans to make me look unstable. Then the real cops arrived, cut him loose, read his rights. Another fake cop scheme, the officer muttered. Turns out, it's not even rare these days. The community poured out in pajamas, watching Rick get cuffed, Victoria's stories unraveling in real time. Dorothy made sure everyone heard. That's what a real professional looks like. Piece by piece, Victoria's empire crumbled. Neighbors, property manager, even the mailman, all ready to testify. The evidence was overwhelming. Cash payments, fake warrants, journals, surveillance files. The FBI took over. Victoria arrested while burning documents in her backyard, the ultimate cliché. She'd spent 15 years plotting. It took 3 hours to collapse. At the trial, she tried to play the grieving mother, but the mountain of evidence was too high. Her rage boiled over, screaming about injustice, blaming me for everything. I told her, ma'am, your son died because of a drunk driver. Those soldiers died because you helped conceal corruption. Your loss doesn't justify making more victims. The courtroom was silent. The jury saw the real her. And the sentence was harsh, 12 years, 1 for each soldier. Dorothy asked me, how do we rebuild trust? I told her, stay vigilant. Ask questions. Never let anyone abuse power just because they seem respectable. Doing the right thing sometimes means standing up to people who hide behind their pain. 2 months later, Dorothy was president. The community was united, and my story ended up in Military Times, the FBI training manual, letters from families thanking me for justice. I turned down leadership roles, told them, you don't need me in charge. You need to pay attention yourselves. My job was done. Then, a letter from Victoria in prison. She owned her choices, apologized for what she'd become. For the first time, she sounded human. I put her letter next to those soldiers' photos, not out of forgiveness, but as a reminder, closure isn't about the other person. It's about refusing to let their hate poison your life. 2 years on, the community's better than ever. Barbecues, kids playing, HOA meetings as dull as they should be. Word gets around. Other veterans call for advice. I tell them, stay calm, document everything, and remember, bullies always overplay their hand if you give them enough rope. And if you've ever faced someone abusing power, or had to choose between revenge and closure, I'd love to hear your story. Drop a comment below. Do you believe justice always catches up? Or do some people get away forever? Like and subscribe for more Echo stories. And remember, sometimes justice is cold, but it's worth the wait.